Alright guys, welcome back to another Zenless Zone 0 update video on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new kit changes for both the 1.3 characters. We got the changes for Lighter and the changes for Yanagi, the upcoming characters for the 1.3 update. So we're going to take a look at everything new in this video, all the new changes, all the new nerfs and buffs. There's quite a lot of changes, so I'm going to try my best to do it real quick. And before we start, make sure to like and subscribe, put those notifications on to become updated right away. But alright, let's get into it. We have a lot of changes to go through. So first off, I'm going to start with Yanagi, and we got her core passive called Lunar Eclipse. Nothing crazy changed from last time for her core passive, it's pretty much the same. The only difference is the damage multiplier here went from 400% to 350%. for 15 seconds, which is the damage multiplier on the disorder that she puts, and that is pretty much all the changes for her core passive. So moving on to Yanagi's ultimate. So for Yanagi's ultimate, they added a completely new effect, so let's read it over. When lightning attacks hit enemies in an elemental abnormal state, a special disorder effect, Polar Disorder, will be triggered. This deals damage equal to 80% of the original disorder effect to the target, and an additional amount of damage equal to 40% of Moon City Yanagi's elemental mastery, and also Polar Disorder will not clear the target's elemental abnormal state. So yeah, these are the changes for Yanagi's ultimate. Now moving on, we got her EX special attack. A few things got changed, we got some multipliers, so I'm going to quickly go through this. I won't read it all of it, it's pretty much the same as last time, but I'm going to read the parts that changed. So it triggers the special polarity disorder effect. It went from dealing 25% to 18% of the original disorder effect's damage, and adding bonus damage equal to went from 17% to 40% of Yanagi's anomaly proficiency. So alright, pretty good. It went from 17 to 40%. It's gonna help her a lot for the disorder effect that she provides. So yeah, a few multipliers changed for EX special attack. Now for her Mindscape 1, the only thing that changed here is the Mindscape effect went from lasting 10 to 15 seconds with maximum of 3 stacks instead of 2. If triggered repeatedly, the duration will be refreshed. And we also have some changes on our Mindscape 2. The multiplier during the EX special attack, the electric anomaly buildup rate from the rapid thrust is increased by 20%. Now it's a bit nerfed, 15%, not a big deal. And now the second effect here is going to be the damage multiplier to the target, and increases. It went from 45% to 25% of the original disorder effect. And now the damage multiplier increased for the additional thrust attacks performed. It was before an extra 5%, now it's 2.5%. And this additional damage increase can be triggered up to 4 times. It went from 4 to 2. And lastly, the Mindscape 6 got only a few changes on the multipliers. It went from 20 to 15%. A bit of a nerf on the Mindscape 6, but I imagine not all of us are going to be going for that anyways, only a few select people. So this concludes all the changes on Yanagi's Mindscapes, and now we can check out the weapon. So the weapon got a minor tweak, it's nothing crazy. So when the anomaly proficiency is above 400, it went from 375 disorder damage caused by the wielder is increased by 25%. So actually, not bad. She can get that 25% increase quite faster. Other than that, the weapon looks the same as before. And the last thing to check out for Yanagi are going to be her multipliers. And a good thing about this is that we see the damage difference, so I won't need to elaborate too much on this. We got her basic attack. As you can see, we got differences. The first hit damage, the first hit days, 9%, 36%. You guys can check that out. But I do see a huge damage fall off, so I'm going to point that out. The 4th hit minus 100%, and then we got the 5th hit damage minus 300%. That's quite a big damage fall off. And the 5th hit days minus 100%. So she definitely lost more than she gained. This multiplier is for the upper chord of Yanagi. Actually, no, it was the lower chord. Now, here are the basic attack upper chord stats. I'm going to briefly go through this as we have Lighter's whole kit ahead of us. Now we got the chain attack, star and moon follow each other. quite a big damage fall off. I see minus 200%, minus 100%, and the ultimate damage multiplier minus 300%, additional damage multiplier plus 40%. So overall, some pretty good nerfs. I guess she was doing too much damage in the beta, but I'm still thinking she's going to be pretty good on release. Got the EX special attack, lunar flowing transition, some more buffs and nerfs. But yeah, this pretty much concludes all the changes for Yanagi. So we can now check out the changes for Lighter. Lighter has quite a lot of changes to check out. So the first thing we can go check out is the core passive. So Lighter's core passive, not much change. Pretty much the same thing as last time, except this time, Lighter's morale recovery, instead of recovering 0.3 points, you can recover 0.26 points of morale for every 1 point of energy consumed by on the field. So that's all the changes for his core passive. Moving on to Lighter's changes for his additional ability called Fired Up. So the first thing is in the morale eruption state, when Lighter performs the 5th hit of a normal attack and hits enemy, the whole team gains 1 stack of uplift up to 20 stacks, lasting for, instead of 15 seconds, now 30 seconds. And the agent's ice and fire damage is increased by 1%, instead it's 0.96%, which I don't see why they even changed that. A 0.004% change, that's basically nothing. And to finish off his additional ability here, they completely changed it for the last effect. I'm gonna read the new one. In the morale eruption state, when Lighter performs the 5th hit of normal attack and hits an enemy, if his impact is higher than 175 points, now 150, every 10 points of impact will increase the benefit provided by each stack of uplift by additional 0.17% up to additional 60%. So that's his additional ability. Alright, next up are the mindscapes. So I'm just going to put them on the screen here for you guys to read because I don't want to make the video too long. Alright, so here are the changes for the Mindscape 1 called Unbeatable Champion. Nothing too crazy. And now moving on to Mindscape 2, it's called Red Scarf, a few multiplier changes. And lastly, we got Lighter's Mindscape 4, a small change, triggering only once within, instead of 15 seconds, and now 18 seconds. And the Mindscape 6, there's an old one and a completely new one. So here are the before and after for you guys that are interested. This is for any whales watching the video that are planning to Mindscape 6 Lighter. And now the last thing to check out are some new multipliers in Lighter's engine. So starting off with Lighter's engine, we got some few changes. When quick assist or defensive assist is activated, the wielder's impact is increased by 25% for 6 seconds, and now it's 8 seconds, went from 22 to 25%. When the wielder's attack with a basic attack hits an enemy, it applies a stack of fatigue, stacking up to 20 layers and lasting for, now it's instead of 15 seconds, it's 30 seconds. And a small change at the last part of the effect here, the crit damage of ice and fire attacks in that hit, it got nerfed. It went from 2.5 to 2%. Overall, not the biggest change ever. Now the last thing to check out is going to be Lighter's multipliers. So as you can see here, not much of a difference. Surprisingly, quite a big difference here in what we saw in Yanagi. 0% across the board, and just a few changes for his normal attack, L-style Roaring Fist. The 5th hit combo got nerfed. That's the only thing that got changed here. The 5th combo damage and the 5th finish damage. Now, moving on, we got the normal attack, L-star Roaring Fist stance interruption. Again, not many changes, just a few nerfs there, but nothing too crazy. The biggest nerf here is the 5th start days minus 35%. And now moving on, we got his ultimate and his chain attack. Not many differences, minus 7%, minus 4. And he got buffed quite a bit for his ultimate, plus 240% and 100% for the ultimate damage and days multiplier. But yeah guys, this concludes all the changes for Lighter and Yanagi. Not too bad. I went over this in only 10 minutes. I would have think it would have been longer. Overall, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you a fan of all the nerfs for Yanagi's multiplier? I know it seems like she got nerfed pretty bad with losing a massive amount of multipliers, and especially I'm pretty sure her disorder damage is basically half now. So we'll see how that turns out. Maybe she was too strong in the beta, so they had to cut her down a bit. So if that's the case, she's still going to be looking pretty good. For me, this doesn't change anything. I'm still pulling for Yanagi, as I love the character a lot. Big fan of the character, love the design. A lot of people say she looks mid, she looks like an NPC, but to me, she looks pretty perfect. So for that reason, I'm pulling. Let me know down below what you guys are doing. But for now, this concludes the update video for the 1.3 characters. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.